And next up at UFC Fight Night, Vallejo's taking on Emmett. We've got Bia Mesquita taking on Montserrat Rendon. Carlos, who you got in this one?
I'm gonna go with Mosquito to get it done, but Rendon, she's the taller fighter, she fights longer. Um, Not very good at striking, but Mosquito's worse. She does pressure you on the feet, so Mosquito is gonna have to like keep her distance unless she's ready to engage, which most of the time when she's ready to engage, it's to try to get the takedown. And Rendon doesn't have big power, but she will just keep coming forward against somebody like Mosquito, who will probably just keep backing up. But what I do think is that Mosquito, if she can at least get this fight to the ground once or twice, just pressure, bulldog her like up against the cage and just get her down, like just use pressure, use persistence. She doesn't have great wrestling to get it down. That's the issue. And if she can do that at least once, ground pound pretty nasty, and her jiu-jitsu obviously is very credentialed. Now, Rendon, she does have a good ground game as well, but Mosquito is very much more credentialed, and she does bring a lot of power on the ground. She loves to beat up girls on the ground to get to the submission. So I would say Mosquito. I'm going to go with it. And like I said, it's too early to tell, but against Rendon, I think she's going to have the advantage. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm going Mosquito here, but probably my least, confident pick on this entire card. Rendon, flat-footed, not known for the striking, not known for the grappling. She'll clinch you and ultimately just, stomp on your feet and just make fights a little bit grimy. I think she needs to stay out of the clinch here against Mosquito. It's just going to open up opportunities for her to get the fight to the mat. Mosquito obviously credentialed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We know that. I think she's a tough girl. I will say that when you watch tape on her, even at 6-0, the fights that you can watch, she is always coming forward. She's always pushing a pace. She's always trying to make it dirty. She wants to be able to get the fight to the mat, but she doesn't have the wrestling to do so. And I think Rendon, like Carlos mentioned, has the height, has the reach. And I think she's going to, kind of struggle to get Rendon to the mat. So I think what we're going to have here is a shitty, apex, sloppy fight here. Absolutely no money on this one. If you're touching this one with any money, I would probably say Rendon plus 3.5. I don't really like this fight from a whole perspective, but I can trust Montserrat to be, at least in the fight at this point, to at least win a round. But I do think that Mosquito here is going to just keep pressuring forward, keep looking for the takedowns, and ultimately I think she might end up getting it at some point where she can get her jiu-jitsu going, but not confident. So I will say give me Mosquito here to get the grappling going, but I wouldn't even be surprised if it ends up being a back and forth, kind of striking affair. Both women suck on the feet, and I think that Mosquito might just be the one pressuring forward and ultimately get the decision based on aggression.